All right, everyone. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties. But again, my name is Dwight. I'm the owner of Max Move and Company, Max Move Management Software, and the owner of Max Move and Training Programs. So we're gonna be going over the business plan. And with that being said, um, it's a very detailed strategic report that everyone needs to have in their arsenal from the start or ongoingly that you're going to want to have that. So a business plan is just a strategic plan of how you plan to execute your business coming out the gate. My vision here with Max Training Program is to give you guys the hidden gems that we all need in this industry that people are just not hitting on. So to start out with your business plan, now this business plan you can get from online if you find templates online for a business plan. I believe starting your own moving company, you can find a business plan, and if you Google starting your own moving company. Um, so there's very many places. Microsoft Word, I believe, has a template as well. So to start, you're going to want to start with your executive summary, which is just a brief outline of your product or service that you're going to be offering. You know, again, it's just a summary. So, hey, we're offering moving services to a certain community. So let's just say, hey, we're offering moving services in Albany, New York, or whatever the case may be. Wherever you are, just a brief outline of what you're going to be offering to your clients. So again, that's the executive summary. Next, you're going to be going over your overview and objectives, which is basically the type of customers you're going to be targeting and what you need to run your business. So choose a target. Which customers are you going to be targeting when you actually start servicing them? And again, this is a broad topic because a business plan can go for any business. But in regards to, let's just say, moving, if you're looking to target a high-end customer per se, break that down some more. What is deemed a high-end customer to you? What bracket are we referring to? Are you referring to like $40,000 household income, or are you referring or are we aiming for a ceiling where you're saying maybe $100,000? So kind of like start getting that into a bracket range where you can actually target whichever customers you want to target on, because you need a targeted customer. As they say, you target everyone, you target no one. So to really hyper focus your business, hyper focus your marketing, and make sure that your dollars are spent well, find your target market of customers that you want to target and know where to find them and reach them. For moving, if you want to target high end customers, maybe you might want to gear towards postcards and people selling high end homes. Also, maybe re-trigger or reshape your marketing to focus on more 2 bedrooms or up with moves and stuff like that, so that basically you can really start increasing your average move size. For any other service, again, it's all about just finding your right target market and shifting your marketing in that direction. Networking is a huge thing for every industry. So again, that was your overview and your objective. The next one we have is your products and services. So be specific on the product and services your business will provide. So hey, if you're moving and you want to provide junk removal services, great. You can provide junk removal, you can provide cleaning, you can provide whatever services that you may so choose to in whatever business that you're running. Like I said, specifically moving. If we know that you're offering moving services. So if you're going to be offering packing services or packing delivery services or whatever type of services that could come to mind, this is where you're going to want to document down in the product and service section of your business plan. And you can do it as a we're offering movement services. B, we're offering packing services. C, we're offering this type of say furniture delivery services. And then if there's something within the furniture delivery services, you can add a sub subject where you can now write, hey, in furniture delivery, we're also going to be doing this, this, and this. So again, you want to be very specific. This business plan is really meant for you, and it can be used to get funding from other places like banks or people that's willing to outside fund you. But technically, it's really meant for you to get your brain on paper, because the worst thing is you start a business and you don't have a plan. And this plan is just you alleviating your brain and get everything on paper. So again, that's the products and services. The next one that we're going to be going over is the marketing opportunity. So pretty much you're analyzing the customer's demographics, buyer habits, and how to differentiate yourself from others. So pretty much, what type of marketing are you gonna look to do? How do you plan to differentiate yourself from other competitors and stuff like that? Like, so with that being said, differentiate yourself. Like, okay, well, hey, we're offering moving services. Okay, so what? The guy down the street is offering moving services as well. Well, we're going to offer packing services. Well, again, the other moving company is offering packing services as well. So what is going to be your niche? And it could be internal and it could be external. So you could say, well, hey, you know what? I believe giving back to our employees is really big to me. And, you know, if we can deliver over the top customer service and have that wonderful culture in our organization, then that's going to be our goal and vision or so like that. And that's your internal niche, which no one can take away from you. How you do that is how you do that. Now, external, you can be, okay, well, hey, when we go to these customers' houses, if we're moving, if we go to these customers' houses, we're going to perform a certain way. We're going to have a certain expectation. We want to, you know, be that friend that customers never had, or, you know, do our services slightly different than the next companies. And this is maybe you doing kind of research externally to figure out is that different. But for you to find out that difference maker is going to be the change with you making more money ultimately, because customers are going to start to see that, hey, you're different. You're truly different from the other companies. So again, that's just the marketing opportunity. Also, again, the demographics, making sure that pretty much wherever you're going to go, if you're starting a new company in a new market, you want to make sure that that demographics can afford what you're offering. If there's a demand for what you have, if there's no demand, no matter how good, how differentiate you are from the competitors, it doesn't matter, because there's no customer buying what you have. So make sure you definitely do your market research in that aspect of thinking and see if there is a demand for the type of services you're looking to offer. And again, that's marketing opportunity. Competitive analysis is the next section. Analysis of your competition and the strengths and weaknesses therein. So pretty much this comes down to like a SWOT analysis, which is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. You want to be able to see what type of strengths your competitors are offering. You know, what type of strengths they have, what type of weaknesses they have. What's your strength of your company? You know, what strengths do you bring to the table? Maybe where are you a little weak at? And it sounds funny, but pretty much identifying your weaknesses up front will ultimately turn into a strength, because you can see it, you can visualize it. Hey, I'm weak in the management area. You know, I feel like if, you know, I maybe have some more training in that area, I'll be more better at what I can do. So identifying yourself, identifying your weakness. Again, this is your business plan for you to lock your ideas away and evolve. But you need this vision so that you know where to go in the future. What again, the SWOT. So strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So what opportunities by you starting this business is there for you? You know, in this, okay, well, hey, opportunities. So in my community, it's a small little community, so there's a lot of furniture stores or whatever the case is. So I think the opportunities will be, hey, you know what, we could do a lot of furniture deliveries. Again, you're going to want to look into this, but pretty much you want to make sure that your opportunities are kind of about 50 to 60%, on the table, whatever the case is. We're never 100% sure. So what opportunities you can take advantage of? Threats. Hey, if your business is a seasonal business, there's that threat right there. Hey, you know what time of the years are we slow? Okay, well, we're going to be slow in the winter months. Okay, well, if that's the case, how can we look to um, get ahead of that? Get ahead of that. What type of opportunities can we take? How can we diversify our business so that we can stay afloat for those months? How can we put away enough money during our peak season so that we can stay above those rough times? So that's kind of like I said, your SWOT, finding your strengths of both you and your competitor, finding the weaknesses of both you and your competitor, and again, you use the weaknesses of your competitor to add that as a strength for yourself to to differentiate yourself from the competitors. So it's kind of like I said, writing all of this stuff down and doing market research before just jumping into a business, thinking that it's just going to be profitable because somebody told you that business is going to be profitable. And then we went over the opportunities and then the threats. Again, just knowing what outside economy impacts can affect your business. So we went over the competitive analysis, and now we have operations. The structure of your organization and what will the actual steps be to running your day-to-day operation. So pretty much, hey, line it up. What type of structure are you going to have? Do you plan on getting big in the next 5 years? Do you plan on having yourself as a CEO where you have maybe X amount of line managers that's going to be underneath you, like a dispatcher, sales manager? Paint that picture for yourself within the next 5 years. This is a 5-year projector. As you go, maybe 2-3 years in, you're gonna pull this business plan out of your vault, and you're gonna project for the next 2 to 3 years, so that basically you're always 5 years out. And mentally, by you just writing this down, you're going to subconsciously be working on this stuff in the back of your mind. It's the power of just documenting stuff. But again, you want to know what your organization is going to be looking like. You want to know what your day to day is going to look like. Paint that out. Say, okay, well, hey, I'm coming in at 9 a.m. in the morning. From 9 to 10 or 9 to 11, we're focused on phone calls. If it's a moving company, example, we're focused on phone calls, getting all the leads handled or whatever the case is. We're going to be dispatching the guys. Have some operation where we're going to be dispatching the guys. From there, I'm going to be working on, whatever other steps carry you throughout the day until the end of your work day. Make sure you have time for business development as well. But, paint out your day-to-day operations. See if there's any flaws or any holes in there, because you want to make sure that your ship is tight as can be. And that's just primarily the operations. And I know it seems like a lot, but pretty much there's no rush to when you get this done. It's taking people 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to get this business plan done. And it just gives you that clear picture of getting all your ideas in your head, because we're entrepreneurs. We're visionaries. We think of so much ongoingly that the ideas are always changing. But to put it on paper is to now truly think about it and truly focus on it. And now, we have a vision. We have a game plan. It's not going to change at a moment's glance when my phone rang. Oh, man, what was I thinking about? No, because you already wrote it down. So you can reevaluate it. You can reread it, whatever the case is. But once you write it, I can guarantee you that most of that knowledge that you just wrote down will stick. So again, that was the operations. Next, we have leadership team. Again, now we're going more in depth with the leadership team. Okay, you determine what your organization is going to look like. Okay, who's going to be the leaders in your organization? Is it going to be you only starting out? Are you going to have, a sales manager, a dispatcher, operations manager, paint out what your leadership team is. And once you paint that leadership team out, you want to detail their roles and responsibilities. Hey, what would this person be doing? With the sales manager, are they going to be handling, just dealing with the sales, overlooking a rep, or, whatever their responsibilities is? You can do this in bullet points. Hey, oversee the reps. Look at sales reports. Report to GM. Whatever the role is, GM. Hey, constant meetings. Oversee the day-to-day operations. Make sure that all customers are satisfied. It doesn't have to be long and overwhelming, but just do it in bullet points. And get the roles and responsibilities out of your head. Maybe you may have to play the role of every position in your organization starting out, but ultimately make that 5-year plan. How do you plan to get yourself from mover or customer service rep all the way up to being a CEO and being a standout in your organization? That comes down to how you vision it, and it starts with detailing the roles and responsibilities of everyone that you want in your organization. A good program for this, one of the programs I recommend is Trainual. They actually do help with figuring out your roles and responsibilities. So if anybody's ever interested, I would say just take a look at them. And then the last part of your business plan is financial analysis. And basically, this is understanding all your expenses you may incur within the next 12 months, expected revenue, and what it will take to meet the goal and operating budget. So ideally, what I'll do is I'll have this in my Facebook group, Max Moving Training. I'll attach some of these in the Facebook group toolbox, and you people can grab it from there. Since I can't share my screen, but pretty much you want to have a performer report, which let me actually write that down so that you know. Let's see. All right. So a performer report is something that you're going to project. Let me actually see if I can share my screen. Give me 1 second. Let's see. I feel like this is important. Let's see. All right. So a performer report is basically going to be a financial forecast, and it's pretty much you're gonna project how much revenue you expect to bring in. It's almost like a P&L, but because you have no expenses yet, you don't know what it's going to be. So you're projecting out what your expenses may be for that year. Doing your research. Hey, what would I be paying my partners or my administrative staff? What may I pay my movers? For a period of time, and you could break it down by month. You can also have what you expect to spend in marketing, payroll services, credit card fees, etc. You're doing your due diligence to get ahead of your expenses that you may incur next year. And that's why this is very important for you to take your time and get this done, so that you can lay out your projected expenses for a period of time, and then look to line your income up accordingly. And now, obviously, this one here says moving services, storage, long distance, but pretty much you want to be able to line up all of the services that you plan to project based on your business plan. Hey, you was going to offer cleaning services. How much do you project that you may look to make with the cleaning services? You plan on offering junk removal. How much do you plan on potentially making with junk removal? So these are all areas that you may want to focus on, trying to project what you can make. Now, once you have this, what you can do is create a financial forecast report to say, well, hey, I plan to make $600,000 this year. Okay, well, what does that look like? If this is moving, It may not apply to every other industry. You may have to look at it differently. You may see, well, hey, you know what? My booking percentage, if we at least book 22%, and that may be on the low end depending on your lead sources, but depending on lead sources, some lead sources may give you a lower conversion because they're wide range. Some customers just don't answer. We just don't know. That's with the lead sources that we get. So that could bring down your booking percentage. But with that bringing down your booking percentage to 22%, that's saying that, hey, you know what? If I wanted to book $600,000, I need to have 124 marketing leads, which would then give me about $30,000. And pretty much the business is seasonal. So which months, is this going to play a strength? So without going into too depth, pretty much you want to know how you're going to make that 600 grand over which months. And you can put this 30,000 that you have here against this performer. And if you made $30,000 in January and your expenses was about 15,000, then hey, you're at 15,000 in net profit. And that's kind of how you want to project it, but you want to be very strategic with how you do this stuff. So that was just a little glimpse of, again, how to be strategic with your plan. You never want to guess at anything that you don't have to guess at. Everything should be strategic in your business plan. Do your research. Don't just think that, hey, you know what I know and nobody's going to tell you differently. The market and the reality of what's going on is the reality of what's going on. So those are the 7 areas that we just went over, which again were so we had your executive summary, we had your overview and objectives, products and services, marketing opportunity, operations, competitive analysis, and missing one, leadership team, and then financial analysis. So that's what makes up your business plan. This should be updated again every 3 to 5 years. This does not have to be shared with anyone for those again who's just coming in. This will give you clarity for the future and present time. You can find the business template again online or Microsoft Word, I believe. I hope this brought you value. Remember, success is not by accident; it's with intent. I leave you with a little secret. Everybody can get a little close. I don't want to let everybody know the juice. Your rates is not based on your competitors. Like the rates that you charge are not based on the competitor that's in your industry. The rates that you charge are based on your research. Hey, what's going to keep your lights on at the end of the day? If hey, I need that $50,000 with all the expenses that you got on your performer is going to keep your light on. Charging $100, charging $125 an hour is not gonna help cover that $50,000. And if you see people in the industry saying, well, hey, I could charge $95 for 2 men in a truck, that doesn't benefit you to be the lowest cost when you know that $50,000 is what keeps your light on. So think strategically. Think big. Okay, well, hey, it's 50,000. What do I want to make profit over that? So if I say, well, hey, if it's 50,000, I want to make 75,000 for the month. Okay, now we're gonna have to reverse engineer that. How do we get to 75,000 on a monthly end? Well, hey, maybe we need to be charging $175 an hour with projected to have 50 jobs, and that'll give us the 75. And that's just me making up numbers. But that's kind of how we want to think. And there's obviously more that we can talk about when we talk about rates, because we actually can go a little more in depth and really figure out the rates. But that was just a summary of kind of figuring out, don't go based off the competitors. Keep an eye out for my future videos where we go more in depth on these subjects of actual rate analysis and really go into depth about how to figure out what your actual rate should be. Now go build your plan, and we'll definitely be talking more in the future. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Max Moving Company, where we'll have more and more content laid out. And again, let's know your numbers and let's have that vision. All right, everyone, you take care.